This PGA Championship week has taken on a strikingly fresh and somewhat unpredictable character from the very beginning. Honestly, no one could have anticipated that the undercurrent of tension would build so quickly, and so noticeably before the tournament even gets underway in earnest. As a passionate golf enthusiast who follows the sport closely, you often pick up on subtle shifts in the atmosphere long before the opening tee shot is hit. Something just feels different this time around, and at the heart of it all are two significant storylines that have the potential to dramatically influence the entire narrative and outcome of this major championship week. One of these stories revolves around an injury that looked downright painful and uncomfortable even from a distance, while the other carries potentially broader and more lasting implications when you consider the physical and mental demands players face across 4 long, exhausting rounds on a demanding major setup. The timing makes it all the more remarkable because these issues are surfacing right on the doorstep of what is unquestionably one of the most important and prestigious weeks on the entire PGA Tour schedule. If you're a true, diehard PGA Tour follower, someone who watches every round, analyzes every swing, and stays glued to the latest developments throughout the season, then go ahead and hit that like button and consider subscribing to PGA Tour content right now. We are steadily marching toward the 11,000 subscriber mark, and this platform is built by and for people who genuinely live and breathe professional golf with the same intensity and devotion that we do. The headline story dominating conversations, without question, centers on Rory McIlroy and the unexpected challenge he is facing. The situation with Rory now appears far more serious and potentially disruptive than most observers first believed when the initial report surfaced. It all started gaining attention during last week's Tour Championship, where Rory openly mentioned developing a particularly bothersome blister located right underneath the nail of his right pinky toe. At the time, he tried to brush it off somewhat lightly in front of the media, explaining that the discomfort had begun bothering him on Friday. He described the area as sore and tender, but insisted he expected it to settle down and not interfere with his preparations heading into the PGA Championship. Unfortunately, matters progressed rapidly in the wrong direction. By the time he arrived at the pristine Aronimink Golf Club in Pennsylvania for his official practice sessions, the pain had escalated to such an extent that Rory felt compelled to take drastic action on his own. He went into considerable detail explaining how he had soaked his foot thoroughly in both the bath and shower to soften the toenail before he ultimately pulled the entire nail off, because the pressure and irritation underneath had become simply unbearable. Hearing him recount the experience was tough, and when he actually showed the affected area to journalists following his press conference, it drove home just how much physical distress he had been enduring in silence. What adds another layer of worry is that Rory genuinely thought this self-performed procedure would bring complete and lasting relief. He even commented that the toe felt noticeably better when he woke up on Tuesday morning. Yet as soon as he stepped out onto the golf course for his scheduled practice round, the harsh reality set in almost immediately. He only managed to complete 3 holes before deciding enough was enough and shutting down the session completely. Those who were present on the course witnessed him stopping on a fairway, removing his shoe and sock to carefully inspect the toe, and eventually leaving the premises in a golf cart because the ongoing irritation refused to ease up. For casual fans who don't play the game at a high level, something like a blister or a toenail problem might come across as relatively minor or inconsequential. But anyone who has competed seriously in golf understands how such seemingly small issues can quickly transform into a full-blown nightmare over the course of 4 consecutive days at a major. We are talking about walking many miles each day across rolling, uneven terrain, dealing with awkward lies, sidehill stances, bunkers with inconsistent sand, and generating explosive power through swings that require perfect balance, stability, and constant weight transfer from the ground up. Every single shot in golf originates from the feet and legs. When that foundation is even slightly compromised by pain or discomfort, it can throw off your posture, your swing plane, your tempo, and ultimately your ability to perform at the highest level under intense pressure. This is exactly why Rory's current physical concern has become such a major talking point leading into the PGA Championship. He arrives this week carrying the prestige of being the reigning Masters champion, riding a wave of excellent form, and sitting as one of the top favorites, second only to Scottie Scheffler, to claim the coveted Wanamaker trophy. Now, an unexpected physical limitation has introduced real doubt and uncertainty into what was supposed to be a highly anticipated week for him. His team's proactive efforts further illustrate the seriousness of the matter. Multiple reports highlighted support staff members hauling several large boxes of different golf shoes into the player services area, experimenting with various models, inserts, and modifications in hopes of finding a combination that would allow him to walk and play with less discomfort. Rory himself admitted he had already gone up an entire shoe size to create additional space and reduce pressure caused by the swelling. Observers noted that while the toe might feel tolerable during quiet morning hours, the moment he began walking longer distances and simulating real playing conditions, the irritation flared up again aggressively. Beyond the obvious physical challenges, this situation also raises significant mental and emotional questions. Rory has been displaying a renewed sense of confidence and freedom in his game ever since his breakthrough victory at the Masters. His body language appears lighter, his swing looks more fluid and complete, and the heavy weight of past expectations seems to have lifted somewhat. Fans and analysts alike had begun imagining a dominant, history-making stretch of golf from him. The sudden emergence of this toe issue now threatens to distract from that momentum at the worst possible moment, forcing him to divert mental energy toward managing pain instead of purely focusing on strategy and shot execution. The field at this PGA Championship is stacked with elite talent, making any distraction even more costly. Scottie Scheffler enters as the clear world number 1 and defending champion, exuding remarkable consistency and mental toughness. Jordan Spieth remains firmly in pursuit of completing the career Grand Slam, while talented players like Cameron Young continue to generate buzz as potential major winners in waiting. Rather than the pre-tournament buzz focusing entirely on exciting matchups and brilliant golf, a large portion of the conversation has shifted toward Rory's foot and how it might affect his performance. This is the second dimension of the story that makes it so compelling. On paper, a blister or toenail issue might sound trivial, but in the context of a 72-hole major championship, the cumulative effect of constant discomfort can become enormous. Every long walk between green and tee, every delicate bunker shot requiring perfect footing, every awkward downhill or side hill lie becomes a test. In major championships, where the difference between winning and missing the cut can be razor-thin, these small physical annoyances have a way of magnifying over time. Further details emerging from Aronimink Golf Club have only heightened concerns among fans and experts. This was not a simple precautionary early exit. Multiple eyewitness accounts described Rory limping at various points, constantly fidgeting with his right shoe, stopping repeatedly to check the toe, and ultimately realizing he could not continue the practice round effectively. When paired with footage and observations from the final round of the Tour Championship showing him moving awkwardly at times, it becomes clear this issue has likely been building for several days rather than appearing out of nowhere. Rory McIlroy is far more than just another player dealing with soreness. He is a global superstar, the reigning Masters champion, and a central figure in modern golf who is chasing additional major titles to further cement a legacy that already includes 6 major victories and countless memorable moments. The emotional investment from fans runs deep because, after years of near misses, intense public scrutiny, and questions about his ability to dominate again, this season finally felt different, more hopeful, more liberated, and full of promise. His Masters win seemed to unlock something special. The confidence was visible, the swing had its old spark, and the mental burden appeared lighter. Many believed this could be the start of another golden chapter in his career. Instead, a painful toe problem has unexpectedly become one of the dominant storylines. That explains the strong reactions across social media and golf forums. Fans are not panicking because they doubt his talent, but because they know how mentally draining major weeks already are, and how even minor physical issues can erode focus and performance when the pressure is at its peak. Golf at the highest level is decided by the smallest of margins: one slightly off-balance swing, one tentative approach shot caused by discomfort, or one lost concentration due to pain. Against a player as steady and formidable as Scottie Scheffler, those tiny disadvantages can prove decisive. Yet, true to the spirit of major championships, this also creates opportunities for other compelling narratives to rise, whether it's Spieth's continued quest for the Grand Slam or the growing excitement around potential first-time major winners. These unexpected twists are precisely what make PGA Championship weeks so thrilling and unpredictable. Rory himself appeared visibly frustrated by the turn of events. He had been optimistic that removing the nail would fix everything, sounding relieved in early comments. A short while later, however, he was seen riding off the course in a cart after yet another painful inspection in the middle of the fairway. It was not the inspiring image fans hoped to see this week. Still, if there is one thing history has taught us about Rory McIlroy, it is that he is a fierce competitor with incredible mental resilience. He has overcome significant pressure and adversity before, and sometimes the greatest stories in golf emerge from players who battle through unexpected challenges. As the final practice days unfold, all eyes will be on whether Rory and his team can find an effective solution. The right shoe combination, proper support, pain management strategies, or any adjustment that allows him to walk and swing comfortably. If they succeed and he reaches Thursday feeling ready, his world-class talent and current form still make him a legitimate threat to win the entire championship. However, if the discomfort continues to affect his movement, balance, stability, or mental sharpness in even the slightest way, this PGA Championship could turn into a much tougher test of endurance and adaptability than anyone anticipated. And that fascinating uncertainty is exactly what has made this one of the most talked about storylines on the PGA Tour right now. If you appreciated this detailed breakdown and in-depth analysis, please show your support by liking the content and leaving your thoughts in the comments section below. I genuinely want to hear from you. Do you think Rory McIlroy has what it takes to push through this toe issue and still contend for or even win this PGA Championship? Or do you believe this could become a more significant obstacle than many are currently expecting? And if you are a real golf fan who values honest, passionate, and comprehensive PGA Tour discussions every single week, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are still a growing platform working hard toward that 11,000 subscriber goal, and we are committed to building a strong, engaged community for everyone who truly loves this beautiful, complex, and endlessly captivating game.